And we get those, you tend to see very strong winds with those, and the strong winds will be going in that direction toward Valley Falls and Ozaki, and again could be as high as 70 miles per hour, and that warning goes till 8 with a nickel-sized hail possible, and also winds up to 70 miles per hour. It's not going to be a big area with 70 mile per hour wind, but certainly Rock Creek, Valley Falls, you are in the path of that. Looks like it's gotten east of Highway 75 at this point, and it's moving east at 45 miles per hour. But folks from the Valley Falls, Ozaki, and Rock Creek area, you should stay inside while this passes by. Most likely the worst of this wind will stay north of Meriden, but still could gust as high as 60 or maybe 65 there in Meriden. But Rock Creek, Valley Falls, Ozaki, you are in the path of what could certainly be 70 mile per hour winds. Again, that's a severe thunderstorm warning. It goes until 8 p.m. We will see if it's extended farther over to the east after that, but once it crosses out of Jefferson County, it gets into the Kansas City viewing area. So we'd encourage you to maybe check in with folks from KCTV once it gets deeper into Leavenworth County, but as long as it stays in Jackson and Jefferson County, we'll certainly deal with it here. So again, Ozaki, Oskaloosa, looks like it's past Hoyt at this time for the stronger of the wind. And then again, I don't want to scare anybody too much here. This is not a tornado situation. It's not some wild number here, but 70 mile per hour winds can do some damage. So if you're in that area, near Ozaki, even from Meriden up to Oskaloosa, just stay inside, please, while this moves by. Fortunately, it'll produce at least some rain. We've been extremely dry lately, of course. Let me check out the amount of rain we've seen so far with this. It's not going to be a big number, but as we look at the rainfall, we'll go back to the last 24 hours and see the entirety of this event, which hasn't gone on for very long. Nobody here with more than a ½ inch so far, so at least we're getting some moisture out of this. But what I want to show you is that Manhattan, Marysville, Clay Center, Concordia, nothing, just no rain at all out of this. So areas that are along and ahead of the cold front certainly could still see some rain, but the areas as far as the west just absolutely have missed out on this thing entirely. Let's check out the temperatures. I'm going to go forward in this. A couple more graphics here, and there's where the cold front was. I may have taken these out of this so I could show the severe weather, but let's jump up to the temperatures. I want to show you what the temperatures look like with this frontal boundary. There we go. There we go. All right. Local temperatures right now. And you see them dropping off pretty dramatically to the north and west. Topeka had a high of 92 this afternoon. And once this cold front moves through, you've got Concordia down to 73 now, Marysville at 70. Look at northwest Kansas behind this front. 59 degrees in St. Francis, 63 in Atwood, 61 in Norton. And tomorrow we'll expect to see our temperatures over here looking much more like that. This summertime air mass that's been around is going to move out of here abruptly, and tomorrow we'll be lucky to see high temperatures make it above 70, although average for this time of the year is about 66, so we're way above normal again. Today's high of 92 is not just above average, it's record setting. The old record was 90 from 1939, and the records go back to 1877. So anytime you break any record, it's amazing. But to break a record by 2 degrees is even more impressive. So late October, seeing that kind of heat is amazing. Looking north from the Cyrus Hotel downtown Topeka, you can see the lightning there. 84 degrees, dew point 57. Seeing heavy rain just north of town from Menninger Hill on the west side of Topeka, 85 degrees. Still showing dry conditions at Belded Airport so far. And then seeing a lot of lightning in the sky over Emporia now. Well, it looks like it's not raining there at the camera just yet. So the strongest storm we have going is this severe thunderstorm warning that involves folks that are around Ozaki and just east of Hoyt to Oskaloosa. You are in the path of what could be 70 mile per hour winds. A few moments ago, the velocity mode of the Doppler radar was showing the winds were about 70 miles per hour. Hoyt may have been hit with some strong winds there. Let's check out the storm spotter reports and see if we got anybody that's reported a wind gust there that might be that strong. I don't see any official data there showing up just yet. We'll go back to velocity, and what you'll see is this area of kind of the brighter white, kind of bright pink there that whips right through Hoyt there, and now it's heading toward almost to Rock Creek, getting close to Highway 4. Valley Falls up here, Rock Creek, that's the north edge of Lake Perry, would be the area most likely to see the stronger of the winds. Ozaki also in the path of that. So again, the area of kind of the bright white color right about there. And I'll put on the data here and see what the wind speed on that might be. And what you see when I show you this value, what it's indicating is how fast the particles are moving that the radar is seeing. So it's almost 70 miles per hour there. So, and that's not at ground level, it's a couple of thousand feet up. So just because it's showing that value at the cloud level doesn't mean it's necessarily that strong at the surface. Back here near Silver Lake, we're also seeing winds that are possibly as high as 65 miles per hour. That area is now out of the old severe thunderstorm warning. We'll see if a new one might get issued down the line here. Now, if you're in Topeka, we are seeing rain getting into the west side of town shortly here. You can see that almost getting to the Auburn exit on I-70, getting close to Indian Hills Road. So a lot of folks are going to be dealing with this very heavy rain. Dealing with. Some folks are going to get a decent dose of rain. Say it that way. It's been so long since we've seen moisture around here. But some heavy rain moving into the west side of the city, and looking more and more likely that much of Topeka should see at least some rain out of this. And down to the south, I'm actually seeing some development near Harveyville that's kind of filling in there. I'm going to back up a little and see if that's actually, yeah, it's kind of formed near Bushong and is heading toward Harveyville. So there's another burst of rain there as well. So again, the dangerous storm we have is this thing that's moving toward Valley Falls and Ozaukee. There's also a severe storm warning up here in Atchison and Donovan counties that indicates winds to 70 miles per hour. That's going to move over into Missouri and away from us. But this thing near Valley Falls, Ozaukee, the north side of Lake Perry, just be ready for that to come through with winds that are probably going to be close to 70 miles per hour. Let's see if we have a significant weather advisory that's been issued for this other part of the storm. That very possible that we have, as it may be just below severe weather limits. And I have not seen any reports of there we go. I haven't seen reports of confirmations of damage from any of these, fortunately. So, all right, so we have a significant weather advisory. It does include the rest of Shawnee County at this point for that storm I showed you farther to the south. Let's see if I can get this thing up here for you guys to show you where that is. All right. So the significant weather advisories for hail about the size of nickels possible. I thought that was actually some sort of sound in here from the speakers. There's lightning just struck right outside the station. That was pretty loud. All right, so zooming in more closely here. If you're in Topeka, a lot of folks are going to be hearing this shortly. So we're at the TV station. We're located very close to where Hollywood Theaters used to be over here on this side of town. And I'm going to check out the lightning there. And it's pouring down rain outside too now, so that's not a problem. It's great that we're seeing some rain finally. But we are right here by where Hollywood Theaters are. So this lightning strike you see right there showing up on the radar right in the middle, that's the lightning strike that I just heard right outside. It probably hit that communication tower that's up there behind Hollywood Theaters where it used to be. But now getting a downpour here at the TV station, so good to finally get some rain. But again, it's coming with some damaging wind around Meriden and Rock Creek and Ozaukee. So I want to look at the text on this significant weather advisory. It does say that storm could have winds to 55 miles per hour and half-inch hail. So half-inch is about the size of a pea. Half-inch hail is not going to cause any sort of damage, at least unless it's a lot of it. But the west side of town getting a downpour now that's going to start moving across town shortly. And I have no doubt that a lot of people are going to hear a lot of lightning from this and wonder what's up. So we'll keep this stream going for a little while here to keep everybody kind of informed. All right, on the velocity, we're going to see that storm moving across Jefferson County. And again, it's got winds that could still be as high as 60 or even 70 miles per hour. The latest text on it still saying 70 mile per hour winds are a possibility. Hey, Bridge, do we have a break coming up shortly where we could eat up some TV time?
Not until around 8:15-ish.
Until when?
8:15-ish.
No, we're at the end of a show then, aren't we? All right.
Yeah.
I do hear some small hail outside. And by small hail, I mean it's pea size most likely. This is not going to be huge hail out there. But I can hear it hitting the door to the back of the studio here. It has just kind of a different sound, obviously, than the rain does. So we have some probably pea-size hail whacking the door here. All right, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning coming in there. Yeah, okay. All right, let's go ahead and do a cut in on TV anyway now, guys, please.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure this is... All right, yeah, I'm ready. All right, the National Weather Service issuing a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings across the area. This one just coming out last few seconds covers really all of Topeka. If you're around Forbes Field, not in it, but severe thunderstorm warning for really all of Topeka with this, with winds can be 60 miles per hour, hail to the size of nickels with this. This storm passing by Hoyt, heading over to Ozaki and the Valley Falls area and the north side of Lake Perry. Hail the size of quarters and also winds to 70 miles per hour possible with this storm. So we have quite a few of these storms developing. Only 2 of these have warnings in the WIBW viewing area at this time. So be aware that hail the size of a nickel and winds to 60 possible across much of the city of Topeka. And then again, winds of 70 miles per hour possible near Ozaki and Oskaloosa. We are live streaming on WIBW.com continuously with this, and we're live on Facebook and YouTube as well. If you want to watch our coverage there or have questions, you can shoot them my way, and I'll try to answer what I can. But again, a couple of warnings. These till 8:15, 8 o'clock for the one that's near Oskaloosa, 8:15 for the ones across the city limits of Topeka. Stay with us right here on the WIBW channel so we keep you safe and informed all evening long. Thank you. All right, thanks for staying with me here. So it's a downpour outside on the TV station. You know, that's a good thing. We just have not had much rain lately, but certainly getting a lot of it now. And I have no doubt that you know, this isn't going to be a high-end severe thunderstorm, but it's going to be one that gets a lot of people's attention, no doubt. So that's the view and that's the radar right now. You can see the warning across Topeka. And it is for winds to 60 miles per hour and hail about the size of a nickel. Looks to be a kind of worst case out of the hail potential. So there's a live look from Menninger Hill. That's on the west side of town. And you're looking there, I believe. Yeah, we'll turn it around now. I can see some lights. Sometimes it's hard to see where you're looking. Now we're looking over toward Wanamaker. There we go. So you can see how low the cloud is there. You can't really see all that far. But seeing that's very heavy rain. And possibly some, I heard pea-sized hail outside is what I was hearing. So there's the view from 70th and Davis Road, the lightning there, and then interesting to see from downtown, from the Cyrus Hotel. If I can bring it back up. There it is. Downtown Topeka is not raining yet. So on the west side of town, very windy. And getting some heavy rain over here on the west side of town. Downtown so far is not quite as wild, but here on the west side of town, I'd say the winds are almost surely at 60 miles per hour at this point. That's loud. I'm not sure if you can hear that I'm a microphone or not from listening to me on the live stream here, but if I step over by the door, you might be able to hear it better. So if you can hear this pinging sound, you know, once in a while we get a gust of wind here that's getting the west wall of the TV station. It just gets pretty loud sometimes. I haven't heard that in a while. It's just been so dry, we just haven't seen storms lately. All right, so there on the west side of town is where I am. We're getting heavy rain now, getting almost to Washburn at this point, and should be in downtown Topeka for the next few minutes. So downpour with this, again, winds to 60 miles per hour possibility, hail up to the size of, it says maybe 3/4 of an inch. Pea size is probably more likely. We also have the severe thunderstorm warning with winds to 70 miles per hour possible going across Jefferson County at this time. Oskaloosa over to Ozaki, the north side of Lake Perry is the area I'm most concerned about with this storm. Again, winds to 70 miles per hour, a possibility with that. Looks like it's getting close to Valley Falls at this point. Looks like it's probably the worst of the wind there. Let's look at the velocity. Oh, there you go. It's still near the north end of Lake Perry. Rock Creek, most likely, just saw the strong winds. The winds are relaxing now probably. I wouldn't say totally done, but not as strong as it was. We're in Rock Creek now. Ozaki, the strong winds are arriving right now. Valley Falls, very strong winds right now. Oskaloosa, you may be just south of the worst of the winds, but still very possible to see winds gusting well over 60 miles per hour in Ozaki as well. Again, this is not a tornado situation. I don't want to scare anybody. Just stay inside while these things move by. So that's what we've got. It's not going to be something that we're going to have some damage out of this, I'm sure. It's going to knock down a bunch of leaves for us to rake this weekend. I don't doubt. I fully expect that. But again, this is not a tornado situation. It's going to be storms that are what we have so far. These quarter-size hail and maybe winds gusting 60 or 70, kind of at worst. So heading toward downtown is a stronger of the wind right now in the storm that's in Topeka. Let's check out the velocity on this, and yeah, you can see it starting to get there right now as well. I'm going to check out the view again from the Cyrus Hotel downtown and see what kind of wind we're getting, or see what kind of view we're getting out of that. So let's zoom back in close to downtown here, and I'll pick out the view from the Cyrus Hotel. I believe it's going to be this one. Yeah, it's going to be that one. So yeah, a few minutes ago we could see. Now you can't see more than a block. So downtown Topeka is in the severe storm warning right now, the worst of the severe storm. So a few minutes ago we had that over here on the west side of town at the TV station, and now, it looks like a hurricane downtown. Look at that. That's the intersection of 10th and Kansas, and you can see the strong winds whipping through the downtown right there. It's just wild. So that's what we had here on the west side of town a few minutes ago, and now at the intersection of 10th and Kansas, that's what you're looking at. And these winds are 60 miles per hour. They could even be 70. The indications on the radar was it was 65 over here when it was in the west side of town, and that would not surprise me. But when's the last time you saw that much rainfall around this area? So it's good to see some moisture. It just seems like in Kansas, anytime we get decent moisture, we wind up getting punished with some sort of damage. So there's the view on the west side of town as things are calming down. And then again, there in downtown Topeka, we're getting the powerful winds right now from the Cyrus Hotel there downtown. All right, Bridge, put me back on TV for just a moment here, as soon as you can. All right, getting 60 to 70 mile per hour winds in downtown Topeka now from this severe thunderstorm that's moving through town, and we have that warning going until 8:15 for the capital city. To the north, we also have the severe storm warning that's around Ozaki and Oskaloosa. This warning for winds could be 70 miles per hour across the north end of Lake Perry. We're live streaming on WIBW.com and on Facebook and YouTube. You can check us out there. We'll be continuous. We'll break back into programming later with more updates. See, this will keep you safe and informed. All right, thank you. So here's what we have out there right now. Again, we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, one that includes a big chunk of the city limits of Topeka, and in a few minutes that's going to go away because the west side of town, well, at least the west side of town is starting to get out of the worst of it. Downtown a few moments ago, you could barely see more than a block, and the winds were certainly stronger than they are now. So still very strong winds in downtown Topeka. The rain is not as heavy as it was a few moments ago, but I can say conditions look like they're improving downtown. It's not as bad as it was a few moments ago. On the west side of town, this is nowhere near what we were dealing with a few minutes ago. So that storm is it's still a problem for the east side of town, or the Oakland neighborhood to Tecumseh, and Grantville is going to be dealing with this shortly. Over to the Lake Shawnee area, you'll have this as well. Looks like the worst of that's going to stay north of Forbes Field in Montara. So you may not have to deal with that strong storm, but there's more rain moving your way from the Auburn area to Wakarusa. That's coming your way from the southwest. The storm to the north, this one that is in place there in Jefferson County, has a history of winds that could be up to 60 or 70 miles per hour. And this thing in downtown Topeka is kicking again. Let's check it one more time. Look at this. It's just, it's just amazing to see rain. It's been so long since we had a good, healthy rain around here. But look at that. That's And the winds are at least 60 miles per hour downtown. Could be as high as 70. And so it looked like a moment ago like things were calming down, but now it's picking back up in intensity there. So downtown Topeka, and heading over to the east side of town. Folks that are there along the I-70 in California area over to Oakland, that's what's moving your way. So if you're over there, stay inside. If you're anywhere, really anywhere in town, I'd stay inside right now. That's a pretty wild storm, and there's not something you see with the air mass like we have today very often, but that's going to do some damage, no doubt. 60, 70 mile per hour winds with that thing moving through the capital city right now. So that's downtown Topeka. That's a live shot from the Cyrus Hotel. It's not a tornado, please don't think that, but it's going to do some wind damage, and we'll have rain gauges that are full for a change. Probably see more rain today than we've seen in several weeks in many spots. So there's the view, or the radar now in Jefferson County. That's a severe thunderstorm warning for Jefferson County until 8:30. Nickel-size hail, 60 mile per hour winds possible, and they have brought this one down. It was 70 mile per hour winds being mentioned with this, and now it's down to 60. So they're not seeing as much potential for that to cause the higher end wind that we were a little while ago. Now looking at this is the storm that's over downtown Topeka, and we're seeing some of that brighter white showing up there, and that very well may be the 65 plus kind of stuff. So there it is on the radar, showing 68 miles per hour, and when we looked at the camera a moment ago, you could certainly see the winds were very strong there in downtown Topeka. There's another view of it right now. So downtown Topeka, the Oakland community, the winds likely 60, 70 miles per hour right now. I do not have an anemometer there on the Cyrus Hotel, so I cannot tell you exactly how fast that wind is moving at this point at 10th and Kansas, but that looks a lot like a hurricane, at least a low-end hurricane right now. It doesn't have the storm surge. I don't want to give you the idea like that, but as far as the winds, that's a very strong storm moving through downtown. The west side of town, things have calmed down a lot. This is how it looks from Menninger Hill along the Wanamaker corridor. Things are super calm now. It's just some lightning overhead, but the damaging winds are certainly done with on the west side of town, while downtown looks like that, still very windy. And the wind is shifting direction now. It's coming in a little more from the south. A few minutes ago, well, just a few seconds ago, it was coming in more straight from the west, and now it's shifted a little bit. So, all right, zooming back out on the radar here, let's see what's going on in other areas. We do not have a severe storm watch at this point, and they do not always issue a severe storm watch for a couple of warnings. They would issue if they expect to see ongoing several warnings at a time going on for hours usually. We don't always see a severe storm watch when there's going to be just a couple of warnings. So in this case, there's not a severe storm watch. We knew the cold front was coming through. It may pop off a strong storm or two, and obviously it's overperformed a little bit. But that's what we've got. So do not expect to see a watch for this. I don't expect to see one issued at this point. All right, so let's check out downtown again. And things have once again calmed down. But something you'll see there is different than what we've seen lately, where we have puddles. There's significant water there on the intersection there of Kansas and 10th. And by far the heaviest rain we've seen in a long time. It'll be very interesting to see what the Doppler, or what the folks from the National Weather Service have for a rainfall total from this. It looks like some of the heavier rain went right across Billard Airport, so it'll be very interesting to see what sort of numbers they have for the climate summary there from the National Weather Service office, see what kind of value they've got. Let's check out the 6-hour total here. That should encompass everything. And this dark green there indicates 2 inches of rain. I don't know. It's indicating a bullseye that could be close to 2 inches from downtown up to the Billard Airport area. So that's possible. That's the Doppler radar indicating now that much rain has fallen. And I'm looking downtown as well in the street to see if it's hail or leaves that are kind of covering Kansas Avenue. I'll bring the camera up for you as well so you can see too. But now, yeah, I think it's leaves. There's no doubt we're going to be raking leaves like crazy after this. Look at this. That's downtown now. Yeah, look at all the leaves in the street. So, I hope we're not dealing with any, significant damage from this, and I don't think we will, but certainly somebody's got a power outage at this point. But those are all leaves on the intersection of Kansas and 10th right now. So I know my trees, I have two beautiful, huge sycamores that produce tons of leaves, and that's what it looks like just right now on the street there at 10th and Kansas. So those winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour for a few minutes with that downpour range, just blasted leaves everywhere across the area. All right, so still very heavy rain falling in the Oakland area right now, getting almost to Grantville, and likely still looking at winds that are 60 miles per hour or close to it. This is not a tornado situation. I don't want anybody to be overly scared there, but that wind, that's probably 75 right there. What's that? What do we have here? 80? Oh, dear goodness. All right. So near the intersection of Highway 4 and 24, the winds could be easily in excess of 70 miles per hour. And that's actually right over Billard Airport right now, is where that's at. I can back the radar up and you can see Billard Airport's right there. So the Weather Service office is right in the worst of that. And if there's 80 mile per hour winds with this, they would certainly notice it. So hopefully the radar is looking higher in the atmosphere and just seeing something that's overhead and is not actually down at the surface. But the radar there, I just showed, just kicking out an 81 mile per hour estimate. So just because it says that doesn't mean that's going on, but when we see that, that's a concern. Okay, so we had a wind gust report of 62 miles per hour from National Weather Service folks, and that was 1 minute ago. Hopefully that's as wild as it gets, but yeah, the radar's showing it could be higher than that, and I hope that it's not. So, all right, they're updating these warnings. They're going to say 70 mile per hour winds are possible with this storm.